Hi, this is Sibit or Ingvar Johannesson from Iceland, and I'm going to seek here a 3-minute game on chess.com. Hopefully we get something interesting. I had white in my last game, so most likely we're going to get the black pieces. And let's see who we get. Currently I'm being paired up. And we have an opponent. His name is Grunfeld999 from probably Serbia. Rated 2266, and we have on the board a French defense. I'm going to play this line here. He's playing with 2 knights. Usually they go e5, d4. A3? Really? Yeah, okay. I mean, he might get some compensation with a potential knight jump to d6 later, but that can be dealt with, so I'm not worried about that. Just going to castle here. Actually, I gave him the pawn here, which was not entirely necessary, but he didn't take it, so I'm happy. Probably bishop d3, yeah. And now f5. If he takes, he can't go to d6 ever. Take with the knight and start pushing this guy. He doesn't have to go back immediately because of the pin on the rook, but now he has to. Okay, he has some slight compensation here, but to me that this isn't too different from a normal Tarrasch kind of position, except that black is just a pawn up. Maybe I can think about e5 here, next move. Takes. Getting some increased scope for my pieces. I got a challenge there since Joey, I'm playing. Please don't challenge when I'm playing. E5 seems like a possibility. Takes. Should I be worried about this D5 pawn? I'm not sure. Let's just, bring another piece closer to a central position. And play here. That's often quite a decent move in the Tarrasch, although he does have the option of some point of gaining control over the e5 square. So the main difference here is that he's got pawn on a c3 instead of 2 pawns on b2 and a2. So he's got pressure on. Just going to go back here, protect the pawn, and play from there. So this bishop is lurking for the moment. But I do have like an endgame trump in this outside pass pawn. Maybe here keep an eye on the c3 pawn and not get hit with a potential tempo if some kind of knight somewhere. Type tactic e5 now? Why not? Don't see why not. Yeah, this becomes a little bit weak, but on the other hand, a lot of good things happen. Stay with the rook. c3 is hanging. I can double my rooks on the e file. Meanwhile, I'm down about 15 seconds. Some pressure here, but not an attack yet. So let's double on the e file. Maybe knight e4 is coming. Of course, you will have compensation. Can I take here? It's interesting. Why not? Get a lot of pawns. And it's interesting. Well, let's not premove that if it doesn't take. But most likely it will take. So our bishop might enter the fray quite dramatically. For instance, on this square. Our knight can come into g4. A number of things can happen here. But yeah, let's just play fast. That's probably the main thing. Might have to sack the queen like bishop e2, knight e4 type stuff. Let's go knight e4 now. Knight f2 is threatened. He might go rook b2. Let's take here, come back. e3 is hanging. Much more unpleasant for him to play this position. What? Take. Don't need to worry about something probably, but I won't. Just play h5. Make love to my king. He might take. Check. I'm not sure what's happening, but oh, he went there. Oh no. Some kind of check here. I'm not sure what's going on, but we're just trying to play fast here. Maybe this move. Quite annoying. Knight takes, and let's take this. Whoa, here and here. Okay, and we managed to win. Good game, good game, good game. So how do we analyze this? Live analysis, I guess. Yeah, usually they go d4 here, following c5 with d takes c5. This type of stuff. This is the most popular take with a bishop, but I prefer to wait and take with a knight here. Two different lines, but you play a3. Usually this happens in this line d5, e5, c5, b4. Take an a3. And yeah, white, black and take. Usually I play it like this. It pushes us back. I think d4 here. And at some point, you know, the bishop comes to a3. He wants to take with the knight at some point, and maybe he can think about this square. You know, some compensation, attacking chances, but in the game, I don't know, maybe it's an interesting system actually. Knight b5, because this is hanging. He didn't do anything about it during the game. I castled, maybe I should play here, because we're not really worried about this. It's just dropping. Well, is it dropping a pawn though? Well, this should fall eventually, but I mean, he can protect it here. Maybe I can just win it like this. I thought he could protect, but I have this immediately. Then we take, and we're up, yeah, already 2 pawns, so that's not going to be enough. So castling was probably a mistake. Should have taken on a7. Again, he should have, but played d4, and now I fixed my mistake. So like I said, this is more or less like a Taras, except he has pawns on a2 and b2. But instead, he sacked the pawn and has a pawn on c3. This does give him like an open b file. More secure d4 pawn, but I think overall I prefer the extra pawn, especially if I'm able to push at some point e5. Maybe I just could have pushed here. And yeah, I mean, I actually don't see why not. So that was probably the best move, what I should have done. I didn't like it here because now if I push, he can take, and there's d5 hanging. So I decided to trade off the black squared bishops, but it does weaken the e5 square and the black squares in general, but my feeling is that black can get away with it in this case, especially being a pawn up, and you know, with the ability to play e5 at some point, which I did here. And now it's just an extra pawn. I mean, okay, we have an isolated pawn here, but this is also weak. Rook e2. And here we didn't need to do anything fancy. Like Grandmaster Hjartarson says, don't sacrifice material with the one position. So I probably wouldn't have done this in a tournament game, but in a Blitz game, sometimes we have some fun just to experiment. And actually, quite frankly, I'm not really risking that much because I get so many pawns. I can take on h4 with jack. I can take on e3 if and when I want, etc. So white will never win this. So maybe this is even objectively quite good, probably winning. So I have a feeling I missed something around here. It's not hugely important, but, and I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but yeah, that's my feeling. But I think black should be doing quite well here, probably just winning. But on the other hand, I could have probably have made things easier for myself. But yeah, okay. Tell me how this went. Experimenting with recording at a different location than usual, so the settings will be different. So I hope this went okay and you enjoyed it and perhaps learned something. So see you later. Bye bye.